my God. I was like nearly crying, eh? Like, I had glasses on, but I had like tears in my eyes. When Caroline Buchanan came down, the first woman to hit that, oh man.
You've been staying kind of connected to the sport, I guess. Like recently you were at Crankworx with, I think, your first experience being a media squid. Like, how did that come about?
Well, I've got a bit of a master plan at works here behind the scenes now.
Okay.
That will unfold hopefully over the future. But I spoke to Darren Kennard at Crankworx because I know him from over the years, and I just wanted some work experience really. And then he was like, well, actually, we were thinking about this role as a social media host. Do you think you'd be keen for that? And I was just like, what an opportunity. Absolutely. I don't know what that is or like if I'll even be any good at it or anything like that. But yes, I'll definitely do that. So I had a couple of meetings with Madison and we worked together on figuring out, what that would look like and, how we could work it in and stuff. So they already kind of knew roughly what they wanted, but it was like this amazing opportunity because they knew roughly what they wanted, but they didn't really know. And so there was a lot of creative freedom for me, and I just wanted to improve my skill set. And so I was like, great, well, you don't know what you're expecting. I don't know what I can offer, so let's just go and jump in and try this. Like a jump in, sink or swim scenario. So when I got to Rotorua, it was just for Rotorua Crankworx, and I was like, okay. So I got there, and I'd done a bit of planning and stuff like that, figured it out, and I was filming with Resale, so I got him to hold the camera and help me out. So I put these first few videos together, and I showed them to Madison, and I was like, is that all right? And then she was just like, that is brilliant. And I was just like, oh! I was like, I've been so nervous because I was like, I literally don't know what I'm doing, like, because I'm just stabbing in the dark. I'm going, right, okay, well, here, see what you think of this. And so when she was like, that's mint, I was like, okay, well, I know roughly what I'm thinking. I know this kind of story that I want to tell for each day, roughly. And we just sort of worked together, and like, I had to do work in front of the camera, like trying to talk about, it was kind of like, so we've called it Crankworx with Katy, along the lines of my Keeping Up with Katy, but Crankworx with Katy. And so it's like I'm at Crankworx and you're coming with me, and I'm going to take you behind the scenes and give you an insight into what's going on with the racing and the riders and just everything like that. So I got to do so much that week, and it was so sick, like fully experienced Rotorua. We did so much Maori stuff, like we did went to all their old villages, understood how Rotorua even came to be with like volcanoes and everything. We got to know Tuoto better as well, like, and all his family heritage. So it was like so much deeper than just like racing. It was like, and that's what I love about Crankworx, is there's so much more than just like, here's an event. It's like, it encompasses the whole area and tries to bring everything together as an event should. It should put back into the local economy and create the destination that these places actually are. So it was really, really cool to be a part of. The other really cool thing was I was in a house with the Crankworx girls, like the women that work for Crankworx. They are rad. They're awesome. It's the first time I've been in a professional environment with professional women. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been surrounded by like teams all my life, and working with bike brands where I work with guys. I work with guys all the time. I'm always working with men. That's just been what my life has been about. And then apart from Tracy Mosley, like Tracy Mosley and Katy Winton at Nukeproof, those are like the two women that I've worked with in my whole career. Anyway, so these women are amazing. Like, they're so rad. I was just like, felt so empowered. I was like, look at these women just like nailing their jobs. Like, I'm gonna go nail my job too. Like, it was so cool to be part of that. And there's a lot of that in Crankworx too. And so it was like real cool to just like be like, wow. Like, this is really cool. Professional women doing professional stuff. Like, this is really, really rad. In the bike industry too.
And the first women's slopestyle as well, which is cool.
Oh my God. I was like nearly crying, eh? Like, I had glasses on, but I had like tears in my eyes. When Caroline Buchanan came down, the first woman to hit that, oh man. And I was really interested, like, why is this so moving? And it was like, it's such a breaking of the barrier for women in sport in general. Like, we've had to like so much stuff in the last few years we've had to push, because it's been so normal for guys to just do the Paris-Roubaix, all this stuff, women breaking the barriers in order to do the first one of them. So to actually witness and be part of these women sending this slopestyle for the first time was just like incredible. But also with the whole thing that was going on with the guys, then the guys not ending up doing it. The fact that this was not advertised as a women-only event, it was part of the slopestyle event. Then the guys weren't doing it. All the people still turned up. And I feel like this is one of the first times it's the first time I've ever experienced it where people have turned up to see the women. Not because it's a women's event, because they came to see slopestyle. It just happened that there was women that were doing it. And I feel like I've certainly felt it through my career, like that kind of thing of like, you know, when you're fighting to try and get equal prize money, but there's not the same amount as, like, same amount of riders as you, like, as the men, and the time gaps are bigger. You're always just made to feel a little bit less than, you know, not the main show, or we got you along just because, you know, we should have women here. Even though that's not what's communicated, there's just a general feel of that. And so for like these women to like own the show and people to turn up anyway for this, I think sent a huge message to be like, we're mountain bikers. It doesn't matter whether we're male or female or in between, like, or anything. You can just turn up. Like, people just want to watch mountain biking, and we're just as good to watch. And it was just like so emotional to be like, wow, we can stand alone. Just as a slopestyle event, as a mountain bike event, whatever. It doesn't have to be this women-only event. Come along and watch. You know, it's just like, yeah, this is slopestyle. There's women doing it.
Everyone does it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's meant. Hardline the same, eh? Hardline Tassie
totally.
with Lou and Gracie and all the other women that were there and didn't unfortunately get to like put down finals runs, but still, like, that was super cool. Like one of the gnarliest tracks in the world, and it's like, yeah, of course we can send that.
Yeah, totally. And people want to watch it. They're not phased whether they're a girl or a guy. They're just like, sick, that's a mountain biker going to send it. So it's amazing that this is the way that things are moving.